Okay, folks, we're back at Lake Olmsted Stadium, and finally we get to see what I have shown 3 or 4 times over the last 7 months, a grinder that's actually working. Most of the grinders I've seen have been having maintenance done on them rather than actually grinding anything up. This grinder has a bowl on top, and as you will see, the root balls are being placed in that bowl and being ground up rather than chipped. They would not fit into the regular chippers because of the height of the root balls. Another interesting thing to watch, and this is going to be a long video because this is the only time I have seen a grinder actually working. You're going to get to see a lot of root balls ground up and spit out up the conveyor belt. But watch the root balls as they're placed in the bowl there. You'll see a lot of looks it's actually dust from the dirt on the root balls being ground up or spit out. Well, it's actually being thrown off because well, for one thing, the wind's blowing pretty well today. And the other thing is that the dirt goes up the conveyor belt out the bottom along with the wood that is being ground up. You will see a couple of root balls that have a lot of red mud or red dirt still attached to them. And you will see the debris going up the chute there changing color. So, but that's a pretty good size root ball in there right now. And the way that thing works is it goes to a point where it can't grab anymore, and then it backs up and goes again. And boy, it's it's really working on those root balls. I wish we had had a couple of them working in previous videos where we could show that, but I happened to stumble across this one today. But this is the very first, and I think it's called a grinder because it's not actually have a rotating ball or um, rotating blades in the bottom. I think it just grinds it up. I'm sure somebody who's seen these before will comment and let me know what they're called in their part of the country. But this thing really has been working. It's Saturday, April 19th, 2025, and they are working their way through the root balls. We wondered all along what was going to happen with the root balls, and I thought that these grinders would be utilized to get rid of the things that the would not go through the other chippers. Um, this thing is just it is just tearing them up, and but we're gonna in a minute or two we're going to have one with a lot of red dirt on it, and and there goes a bunch out there. Looks like you're going to see a lot of it go up the conveyor into the pile, and this is a very interesting thing. And the reason this video is so long is because this is the only time I have seen one of these machines in operation. And I thought it would be interesting since everybody has been complaining about all of the root balls not being picked. Holy moly, look at the size of that one. Not being picked up, then when they were picked up, what are they going to do with them? And I thought all along that somewhere down the road, they would either put these in one of the rollback trucks or they would bring a grinder in here and make chips out of them. Every once in a while, if you watch closely, you might see a piece of wire or a piece of metal, as I have seen that before when I was doing it. Um, I'll tell you, this grinder makes a tremendous amount of noise also. Um, I'm sure the folks that live nearby can attest to that fact. It's right by Lake Olmsted, and I would be willing to bet you that noise is reverberating across the lake. So, but that is a really big stump in there right now. And the grinder goes a little bit and grabs a little bit, and then it cuts some more and grinds some more, and finally they are all carried out the bottom in much smaller pieces than they go in the top. So I think we've got about another minute and a half before we get to see the root ball with the red mud or red dirt still attached to it. We have a front end loader down here spreading the pile out, and I'm sure there's a lot of dirt going out the bottom down there also that is still on these root balls. Don't really know of any way you could get the dirt off to make them go through the grinder without working on the blades in the bottom. But that big root ball is still in there. Still, he doesn't want to go, but I have a feeling he's going to go. This thing just really, really, really tears them up. They fall further back down into the bowl, and the next thing you know, they're gone. So, but amazingly enough, I've seen 4 or 5 of these grinders over the time since Hurricane Helene came to visit and drop a few things off while she was here. And this is the very first one I have ever seen in operation. I've seen the regular chippers. I've seen Big Blue, which threw debris 50 or 60 feet. But this is absolutely the first one. And they are self-contained. They're run by a diesel engine. But man, do they make some serious noise. Oh, what is this? He's knocking a lot of dirt off of that one with the excavator. And he's going to, I think that's the one with the red dirt on it that is going to change the output, the color of the output as it is ground up by that machine. Yep, that's it. Boy, I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. But the dust you see where the root balls get down to where the dirt is still attached is what you see puffing out, and the wind is blowing fairly well today. That went some red dirt. There's some more. But yeah, you can see how the chip material changes, or the ground up material changes color as it comes out of the conveyor belt. But that boy he's got 3 root balls in there that are pretty good size. If you were having to stand by them, you'd be amazed at actually how large they are. And this grinder, I hope it continues to work, because he's got a lot of root balls to grind up and run through that machine. There's still probably, I've seen some root balls still out to be picked up, but I'm not sure who's going to pick them up. On my street, there was a huge root ball that was probably 9 feet in diameter, and there was a tracked crane that came along and picked it up and put it in a roll-off. So we've got one standing up, and here comes another big one. But the one with the red dirt on it is now putting some color into the material coming off the board, the belt there. And man, that's a big one right there. Holy moly! the size of that thing, the root system from that tree. That's a very, very large root ball. And it's just not something that you get to see or you may never see again. So if you like the video, please leave a comment. Please subscribe so that you'll know the next video coming out. And later today, there will be an update on the James Brown Arena building process. And you'll be able to know when the new videos come out. Again, that thing almost covers the entire top of that bowl. That is a really, really, really large root ball. And he's just going to put some stuff on top of it to kind of help it fall down through, I think. So we're continuing on here, grinding them up. That particular machine is at Lake Olmsted Stadium. You can ride by with your windows down. You can smell the pine being ground up, and you'll be able to hear it. And believe me, you'll hear it a long way before you get there. But I've been missing doing some of the videos on the Hurricane Helene, but we'll get back to them. There's not too much left to do. This was a very special occasion here that I was very fortunate to run by and hear. Thanks for watching. Please give the video a like, and I will certainly see you on the next video.